Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Today we are talking about installing vinyl graphics on a van. So if you are interested in installing a vinyl graphic on your van, whether it's doing like a matte vinyl on the hood to kind of reduce the glare, or you want to do something fancy like I'm doing on the back of the van where I have the company logo, we got a cool topographical map set up, then this is the video for you. So I am not a professional tent installer or vinyl graphic installer, but I've done both of those things, and so I have a little bit of knowledge to help you guys out with doing this sort of job if you're into it. I'm going to talk about some tools that I'm using, stuff like knife tape from 3M, and then we got a couple of tools here for getting the vinyl into all the corners. Let me fix the camera really quick. See here. And throughout the whole entire live stream, you guys can ask any questions as far as vans and stuff like that go. It doesn't have to be on the vinyl graphic piece, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So if you're interested in that, I'm sure you may be watching. And this is not scripted or anything like that. I'm going to be talking about random things as far as the prep of the van, how we're doing that, how I'm cleaning it, if I will tape anything off, things to look out for. So we're just going to go for it. First thing I'm going to do is going to start with the vinyl graphic itself. So you're going to want to find somebody local. Hold on a second. This thing is still doing face tracking. Get it to stop doing face tracking. Let's see here. All right, I think we're good. The first thing you want to do is find somebody who can work with you to print the vinyl graphic that you want. So you can do something online. I did something local so that I can make quick changes if this is something that I want to do on multiple vans. So I'm really testing out this product. If you Google, vinyl wrapping or anything like that, 3M is pretty much a name brand product that a lot of people use. There's tons of other names, they're all pretty good. Like I said, I'm not a pro, so I don't know which one is the best, but if I had to pick, it'd be 3M just because I've seen it and they do a lot of adhesives and stuff like that, so I assume they're pretty good. This one, I don't know what brand they're using from my local shop, and they've told me that this is an air release technology, so you don't have to use the soap and water necessarily. Again, don't know if that's true. The fun thing about YouTube is you guys can let me know in the comments what I'm saying is working, or if you got any tips. But I'm working with somebody local, so I can go back and forth really quickly on the design. And once you find somebody to work with you on the design, the next step is you're going to want to, it's essentially graphic design, a little bit of graphic design. You need to think of your canvas size, so that would be the size that you're going to print on, and then you're going to have to also keep in consideration how that company is going to print the material, and depending on what kind of printer they have, is if you're doing a big vinyl graphic, do they have the plotter or printer to print something that big? Do you have something small? And then you want to take in consideration how you're going to apply it. So measuring this thing is still doing face tracking. Come on. Okay. Get me off my game here. So you're going to want to make sure that when you lay it out, the file that you're going to be using has enough resolution that it's going to be able to not be blurry when you blow it up. Same to do with your logo. You're going to be wanting to look for stuff called vector files. You can do, there's other file types, but usually vector graphics are graphics that can scale almost infinitely with the size. So the information's there, so when you stretch the graphic, instead of zooming in on it and pixelating it, it's able to maintain the resolution. It's just a bit of, that's the terminology for the industry. So learn about those things. Hopefully, like my graphic, for example, the Odyssey Custom Vans logo is a vector graphic. But just because it's a vector graphic doesn't mean that when you print it, that it's going to be super high resolution. That comes down to the graphic designer that's actually doing the work for you. If they put something together to where they don't, I'm trying to go back in my old graphic design knowledge. If they don't set it up to where that you can have the vector part of it, it's essentially going to be zoomed in and stretched, and you will get a little bit of pixelation. And so that can be one reason why your picture may come out blurry. So if you go get a proof done and you're looking at the proof and it looks kind of blurry, check your end that your file sizes are vector images and that you've chosen maybe like a stock photo for a background that is also a vector image. One of those may not be. They could be like a JPEG, for example. So your side would be low quality if it doesn't look good, but on their side, they may not be exporting the file right, if that makes sense. All right, so that's kind of the technical details behind it. So once you've found that out, the next step you want to do is have them send you a proof so you can check the dimensions of what's going to go on your van. And we're specifically doing camper vans. This will apply for other graphics too. But when you put the graphic, you kind of have to imagine where the graphic's going to go before you set your camper size or send it to the graphic designer, and then how you're going to put that on the van. So this, for example, is I want to have it over about a 1/2 inch on the top and a 1/2 inch on the bottom. Again, I'm not a pro, but maybe if you are more green to this, you may want to actually maybe do like an inch or two. I don't know. I'm staying very constricted on how big this is, because the tighter you can get this in, it'll help you visually make sure that you're in alignment. So for example, I needed to know how big this window opening was so that my logo would be, when I started from this far right edge, it would be an equidistance from here and an equidistance from this bottom lip. And so that's a lot of forward thinking, because I don't want to put the graphic down here and then the other side not be even, but also it just I don't want it to look funny. So what I'm going to do when I get started here, you'll see, is I'm going to measure this gap, because I forgot what the number is, and I'm just going to come down here and put a piece of tape, and that's going to let me know where I want the cut line to be down here on the bottom of the graphic. So that's the pre-planning to do that, is why this logo is where it's at. That's why the logo is this far from this edge, because what most people would do is they would get a graphic, they would kind of cover this, and then they would start, and then later they would do a cut. But for me, just thinking a little bit ahead, I wanted to use this clean line from the plotter cut as my beginning line, so that when I get down to the end of the graphic, it's not sagging down or up. Now, I can't promise that. It may sag down or up for, maybe like 1/8 of an inch or something like that, 1/16 of an inch. But you guys know I try to be as much as a perfectionist as I can. But for this, I wanted it to be pretty straightforward. So this edge is going to be the starting point. The height for my bottom logo is going to match this and tell me my reference up and down. So by pre-planning, I got my left and right, and then down here I've got my up and down. And then what I did for the other side of the van is I just told them to, reverse the image. Well, not the image, but the logo. Just move it. So once you do all that, you're going to have your whole kind of plan of attack, and you're going to say, I approve the proof, and I'm going to go ahead and print the graphic out for the job to be done. So they printed it out, they sent it to me, and here we are today with the graphics, getting ready to put it on. So before you put it on, if you've done all that homework, you kind of know what the next step is before you put this on. But just like window tinting, it's all in the prep. We want to make sure that this adhesive is prepared for adhering to the van very well for a long time. So we need to get all the dirt and grime off of here. And then I'm going to go through and talk to you guys about, let's see here, let me move. Make sure this camera is not following me there. Here we go. This is a cool camera. It's the Insta360 I'm actually using for the 4K live stream. And as you guys can see, it's very clear. The controls are just a little weird. They tend not to save the settings too well, so it's an awesome camera. It just kind of gets, as you guys can see, it's moving without me wanting it to move. All right, so we got our graphic. Let's go and talk about what to look out for when you're getting ready to get this graphic on here. So how are you going to make sure that the graphic successfully sticks on here very well and we don't have any bumps or dirt or anything like that? Now, depending on the thickness of the vinyl, you may be able to hide some imperfections, but if you have like a little grain of sand or a speck of dirt, you're usually going to feel it. And not only that, if you rub it or gently wash it, that piece of grit may cut through the vinyl, and then you have a little hole, so you don't want that. The other thing besides cleaning it is any type of surface like this is going to be very challenging. In a perfect world, I would actually take this glass out and do the graphic, cut the hole, and then put this back in. Technically, I've designed these windows to do that. They're actually drilled and tapped. If you guys have seen another video, this thing wants to follow my face. It's hilarious. There's actually gestures you can do on this thing, so you can pull your hand up or down, and it'll do like a zoom thing. It's getting me distracted here. All right, come on, go back. So what I need to do is actually save a setting for the camera. Give me 1 second. So the auto tracking, yep. So we're going to turn off. We're going to turn off the zoom, the whiteboard, and the auto tracking. Okay. There we go. Should be moving now. All right, back to this. So I could take the window out. I could do all that, put it back in, because I did drill and tap this window so that it can be taken in and out easily if, like, the future customer breaks it, for example, and needs it replaced. Don't have to worry about cross-threading screws or taking up adhesive or anything like that. It's going to be a nice reinstall of the glass. With that being said, it's not good for the vinyl graphics because we're going to have a big sticker over here, and then we're actually going to have to take these tools. They almost look like dental tools right here. These. I'm going to talk about all this stuff here in just a second. A little kit that I got off of Amazon to help me install this. But you got these little, they almost look like dental tools. And there's a lip underneath here, and we're going to be stuffing the graphic underneath this lip. So what we'll do is I'll probably, once the vinyl graphic goes around here, we'll take a razor, we'll cut out the glass This is another tip, is to kind of do a walkthrough like I'm doing with you guys on how you're going to do everything before you do it. So you're kind of like you're pretending like you're doing it without the graphics. Then we're going to take a razor and then we're going to cut out this inner ring of the glass. It's going to leave us about a 1/2 inch, and then we're going to take our hands and we're going to put some gloves on, some nitrile gloves, so we don't have our oils or any dirt on our hands get into the back of the vinyl. And then we're going to pop it off. And then when we pop it off, we're going to give it a little bit of relief, and then we're going to stuff the underside underneath here. So make it look nice and clean. Because you can tell we have a black graphic, and if we don't do it right, you're going to see a little bit of the white paint of the van, and it's not going to be good. One thing that's really hard about these corners when you're doing, reason I keep bringing up window tinting is I can foresee stuff that I've had doing window tinting being an issue with this. So when you have dirt underneath these channels, if you don't wash them out with Windex or a cleaner, when you go to stuff the vinyl up in there, it'll be like a crusty sand or faint dirt. And if you just spray on the top and wipe it, you're not going to get all that grit from the inside here. So we're actually going to spray and get that grit off the inside. Now it is possible, because we do that, we won't be able to dry all the moisture out of the inside, but that's okay. If we have a little bit of the graphic not sticking because there's some moisture in there, over time, like the next day or two, it'll dry. I'll show you a trick. So we'll take a piece of paper towel. And for your hardcore vinyl enthusiasts out there, I know I'm not using lint-free cloth, so forgive me. We're not getting so technical here, but technically you would want a lint-free cloth so you're not putting, fuzz up in here. But if the vinyl is not sticking, we're going to take this piece of paper towel and we're just going to stuff it up in here like this when the graphic's on. Technically you could do this before, but I'm probably just going to keep moving on. And you just do this and suck the moisture out, and that'll help it better seal on there. Once it's stuck up underneath here, you're going to want to go back to your kit, and they come with these really precise razor blades, and so they're different than what I always like to tell you to use in the shop. So this is a normal razor blade here. Yeah, so that camera's pretty cool, right? And then you got this one. So you can see there's a difference between these two. This one's more detailed. It's also from Amazon, so there's parts falling off of it. So we don't need this. This is like a pocket protector clip, which actually may hold the back of this in. There we go. All right. So we got this, and then we're going to take this when we get a second, and we'll come through, and we're just going to cut on the bottom side, and then when we get done cutting, we still may need to come back in here and then push up under here, but thankfully I'm already pushing this up under here. And what's already really cool is if you look at my fingernail, let's see here, come on, this camera can do it. See my fingernail? Don't look at my fingernail, but look at the piece of plastic. So that's about a little over 1/8 of an inch, which that's really good for us because that means we can stuff a little over 1/8 of an inch behind here, and we're definitely going to hide the white paint. Now we'll see later if that even comes true. I'm pretty sure I can get it perfect. So once we do that and we stick this all under here, so this will be our first challenge. The second challenge, it's supposed to be easy, but I think it may be challenging because I've never done it before, is using the knife tape. So what knife tape does is, and I know the pros out there are gonna laugh at how the way I'm gonna explain what knife tape is, but think if you took masking tape and you put fishing line on the inside of it. And so you have like fishing line and then masking tape over it, and then you rip the fishing line through the masking tape, and when you do that, the masking tape is underneath the graphic, and it cuts the graphic, and then this tape on top is smooth enough to where it'll pull out of the, you can remove it from the graphic later. So it's like a little piece of, fishing line that cuts the graphic, because you don't want to actually cut. You don't want to put a razor. You could. You don't want to use a razor on this. Now I know there's some professionals out there, vinyl installers, that they'll cut on the paint, and they've done it so much that they actually don't really damage the paint. I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to use this. Here's the greatest thing. If you mess up, you can take it off and print a new graphic out. Now, I know that might be cost prohibitive, but don't stress out like this is the last time you're going to be able to do this. It's a big sticker. That's all it is. So I'm going to take the knife tape. I'm going to start here. I do have a challenge because according to these instructions, this needs to be 6 inches back, and then when you start to do the cut, you need to fold it over halfway, put your thumb, and then break the line, and then continue the cut. So you can't actually do it here. It needs to start over here. So what I might do is do it slightly the wrong way. I'll put it where I want the cut line, and then I'm probably just going to stick it on the top of the glass here and then the bottom of the glass. So I'll break my line there, and then I'll try to jump over here and then continue the cut. Because I don't really have any straight lines over here. But if you're a professional vinyl installer and you guys are in the chat, let me know if you've ever used this and you've started from a middle area, not an edge or a curve. I'm assuming that's completely normal to do that. All right, and then last but not least, after I get this on, we pretty much can get started. So I'm going to do 3 steps to clean this. This is some watered down Windex. I don't know why it's watered down, but watered down Windex. Then I'm going to go for the invisible glass. And this is just stuff I had lying around the shop. See, it's all rusty. And then last but not least, you guys probably guessed my favorite product I use. I'm going to use this right here to clean just clean the area where my tape, my knife tape is going to go. I just want to really make sure that the green part sticks so I can break that line and it doesn't, pull out from itself. All right, so that's my plan. So I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning, and we're going to put a vinyl graphic on. Now again, if you guys are just joining the live stream, feel free to ask any questions. I'm just kind of hanging out, putting the graphic on in the shop. One day I'll try to get some copyright-free music to listen to, but and I'm going to make sure I clean the glass too, because that's where I'm going to put the graphic. And also, I've got that half inch that's coming over the top. So that half inch coming over the top, we need to make sure the top of this van is clean too. This is a little bit of paint that I got on the van, so I'm not really worried about that. I think that was from my my rust preventative. One day I was doing that. Yeah, I'm doing this now because there's two things that today's kind of planning for the end of the van to be built. And if I mess up the graphic, then I can go ahead and reorder another one, and then I can move on to something different tomorrow. But two things I wanted to plan ahead for before this van is completed was getting the graphics on and make sure I don't mess them up. And then the second thing was after the expo, one of my hubcaps has a little scratch on it, and I don't know if somebody rubbed up against it or not, so I'm going to get that repainted. And so those things are two things that I can get done while I'm working on the plumbing system, which I'm planning on kind of laying that out tonight. And then hopefully I can bring you guys along for the journey tomorrow. Because the first thing we're going to do when we do the water system or the plumbing system is we got to make the L-track, the 80/20 frame. To hold the water tank in, and then we need the water tank to be held in first. Then we'll know a place to mount the hot water tank, and then we'll keep going and we'll do the pump and the electrical and all that. If you guys haven't used Invisible Glass for glass cleaner, I know this is not glass, but I think it personally does a better job than Windex. And I am cleaning the glass because you just want a really clean work surface. When you're doing any type of stickers or vinyl graphics, especially tint. If you guys have ever done tint before, the cleaner the better on that stuff. And this may look dirty before I was getting this done, but I did wash it. So it was a clean rag when I started doing this. So after I get this done, I'm gonna do one thing where I take I'm gonna take some of the Windex, I'm gonna spray it up in this channel. I'm gonna try to clean this channel out a little bit. Because like I said earlier, I'm just rubbing over the top of it and I'm not getting down underneath here where the graphic's gonna go. Okay, so I'm going to take the same thing. I'm going to take one of these little brushes. I'm going to attempt to just come in here and see if I got any dirt, which I do. Okay. So I'm actually just going to lightly come in here and clean. Kind of get all that gunk out. So I'm going to drag this across the bottom and then I'm going to show you. See if you guys can see it. Let's see. There you go. Come on, focus. This thing was doing so good. There you go. So yeah, black line. That's what we want to get rid of. Because when we stuff the vinyl graphic up in there, we just want it to stick. Because you guys have seen the vinyl graphics, if they weren't put on well, the sun dries it out and it kind of starts to peel up. I don't want that on my Vans. Okay, and obviously you see how much dirt on the top, right there. Okay, and then I'm just going to go over one more time with a paper towel. I don't think I'm going to do what I said I was going to do as far as put more liquid in here. I think this is a good way to do it. Well, I don't know. This is Of course it's dirty. I haven't actually washed this outside in a while. Yeah, this thing hasn't been washed since Venture Van Expo. So you can see we're getting all this dirt out that if we don't do it, so I'm going to spray this, get this wet. And because if we don't do this, the adhesive is on the vinyl graphics just going to suck up all this dirt and it won't stick. I've already said that, but I'll keep saying it because it's important. If you're doing this with a paper towel and not like a lint-free cloth, just be careful that you don't tear through this and you leave a chunk of paper towel in here. That would not be good. And I'm thinking I've gotten everything I want right now. I'm going to use the dry side one more time, and then we'll start laying out our knife tape, and we'll keep going. Yeah, this is good. This is step by step, it's becoming cleaner. In a perfect world, you would be able to do this, and when you go around in a circle, you would have no more dirt on your keep hearing a click on my computer. I'm not sure what it is. It sounds like the 360 camera, but I don't know. All right, so let's take a dry towel and then we're going to get to putting some knife tape on. Okay, much better, about half as dark right now. Yeah, this left side over here is really dirty. All right, let's do one last time so we can keep on moving. So this side, it's pretty good. The other thing that may be happening is the foam gasket. I think is what we're touching. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm gonna just leave it right there. I think that's pretty clean. All right, knife tape. What are we gonna do with knife tape? So we're going to start over, I'm gonna start on the bottom. So I've never done this before, which should be fun for you guys to watch. But we're gonna start 6 inches over here. And then I'm going to take it and put it at the start right here of this body line where I want the cut to be. I'm just going to come through here. I'm going to try to, I'm hoping that this body line all the way to right here is straight. So let's go down to there. Now when you're doing what I just did, you don't want to put, again, this is my first time doing it, but I'm just letting you hear what's in my head. Don't pull it taut, because when you put your finger on it, you might create like a ripple. So don't be putting just light pressure to get this line started. And then this right here is the tricky part, because you kind of have to emulate all those YouTube videos you saw. And just kind of start to learn how to go around a curve. Wish I could. I might zoom in afterwards on this. The kind of saving grace on this is going to be that. Well, I also told you I was going to use the denatured alcohol on this. Okay, let's start over. Let's do denatured alcohol. You know what, while we're here, let's just play around with this since we need some practice. Let's zoom in. There we go, look at that. Just making sure this thing is not follow me. There we go. Okay, so apparently right here, what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna pull in one more studio light. And once again, if you guys are watching this live stream, if you have any questions, it does not have to be about vinyl graphics. It can be about anything really, van related, hopefully. Okay, look at this in here. All right, it's just going to blow out the image too much. Let's see here. I don't know about that. We're just gonna do that. That way we won't create too many shadows. Okay. Let's figure this out to see how this works. Okay, according to the instructions, you have this, and you want to peel the back section. Okay, let's see what it says. So here are the instructions. So, begin with 6 to 8 inches of tape. Okay, we got our 6 to 8 inches where the graphic will be cut. Lay down the knifeless tape, apply the film over the tape. So that would be on this section. Fold the start of the tape back over itself approximately 3 inches. Press thumb firmly on folded edge, covering at least half of the tape. Firmly grasp the end of the tape with your thumb and index finger. Start with your 2 thumbs an inch apart. Bring thumbs together and give it a quick snap. I don't think that worked. Okay. That didn't really work, but there we go. Okay. So this is pretty tricky. You're going to want to actually practice this like I just did before you before you do this. There we go. So you want this the string, like the fishing line, you want it to, it's going to want to come underneath the tape, but you want it, the pop is to get it so it's starting to cut in the middle of the green knife tape. And so it's in the middle of the green, like that. And that way when you hold down the green part, the knife edge comes. And then the last instructions say you want to fold over the graphic. So you take this little pink string, not the green, but the pink cutting line, over the graphic, and you don't pull up to cut, you pull across the graphic. Press your thumb over both the filament and the graphic edge. Gently tug filament to start cutting the graphic. Continue to pull the line back and not upward. So back, not upward. And then remove the carrier tape underneath the film. So we'll do this. We'll do that little pop thing. I'm gonna go more. I'm gonna go like 8 inches. And then when we get here, we should be able to start holding the green part and then cutting in to the graphic. And then we're just going to hold the graphic and we're going to pull this across, just like that. Pull it across to cut. Okay, it's actually pretty, not too bad. All right. All right, so practice is over. Let's do that denatured alcohol and then let's get to work. right, guys, I'm gonna put this light on here. I'm gonna check it one more time. I do want some more light, but try not to make a shadow. How's that look? Got a couple of people watching the stream. That's pretty cool. There we go. Okay. Denatured alcohol. That's where it was at. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this topographical look. Most people just do like a matte black, and I wanted to do something a little different. I'm gonna try, okay, there you go, that piece of, a little bit of paint that was on there, I got it off. Okay. I would say depending on how much dirt this takes off, I might just wipe the whole thing down. I'll probably wipe the whole thing down. As you guys saw, we cleaned this with Windex and the invisible glass. So you may be shocked to see how much dirt was still left on here. I'll show you when I get done wiping. So it's not that bad. All right, let's keep going. So our knife tape, I dropped this on the ground, so I'm gonna have to get a clean piece starting. Okay. So I'm doing this here. It's my little helper window. Piece of glass. Okay. Then I'm going to come over into here. If you wonder what that noise was, it was my German Shepherd in the corner. All right. Again, I'm just eyeballing this, and my thought behind what I just did is I want to come down as far over here on the left-hand side, because if you do it as you go along the way, you'll start introducing ripples. So I don't want to do that. Okay, so we've got and here I'm just trying to figure this out. So again, I haven't used knife tape before, so I'm just, I already do not like the gloves. My finger can't travel. Give mad props to the pros that make this look easy. This is and so, since I'm not a pro, I'm also banking on the fact that this this little step down here, so this body line, it's going to hide some of my imperfections of putting this tape down. And I think what I'm doing is I'm coming so you can do that. So I want the graphic to be flat. I don't want the cut line to be on the upward slope of the contour, which keeps wanting to go that way. maybe. Okay, that's good. Now we just do this. I promise, guys, I'm not trying to do ASMR. It's just very quiet in the shop and trying to do some detailed work here. Okay, the gloves got to go. There's no way. Yeah, the challenge is how to guide the top and the bottom to get the flat profile you're looking for without doing some weird stuff with the tape. And without making a really sharp curve that looks weird. Ah, okay. Maybe picking up a trick here. So when I go out further, I can control my angle maybe? I don't know. I'm just making all this stuff up. All right, I think we did it. Okay, well, it's pretty uneventful. What's going to be interesting is this corner down here. I think I need to take this tape off. Put it underneath the glass a little bit and just come down with it. Something like that. I'll explain my thought here in just a second. My thought is I need to have that first beginning break. I need to have it at the plane needs to be that way. All right, so this looks pretty good. And this may be the wrong thing to do, but I'm just gonna a little bit of denatured alcohol. I'm just gonna quickly just wipe on top of it. Get the oils from my finger off of it. All right, we are moving on here. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for joining the live stream. All right. Now we're going to get into the fun part. I got to put the graphic on. I think that's the point of the video, right? So now my one concern, because I've preached to all you guys about cleanliness, all this stuff is clean. This thing's been sitting on the shelf in the shop for like 2 months now. And there's so much dust on the back of this, so. I should have just kept it in the office, but oh well. Now, one thing, I don't know if it's going to be necessary or if it is a necessary tool, but something that you guys are going to see me use is there's a couple of wrinkles in here. They're not significant. It's something that could probably, the sun could probably take care of it, but you may see me use a heat gun. If I do that, it's going to be very minimal. It's not going to be like the main thing that's used to install this. I've also left this blue tape on here too long. Sorry guys, there's no fast forward in the live stream. It's live. Of course, if you're watching this, obviously after today, you can probably fast forward to the part where I actually start applying it, but then you'll miss out on what I'm talking about. All right, I'm trying to clean this up because I'm going to need to put some tape. I want to hang the graphic up because since I'm kind of teaching you guys how to do this, normally I would just start going for it and put this on here, but I want to, if you guys do want to attempt this, I'm going to show you what would happen if you wanted to just put the graphic up there like you're testing out, how it fits. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going to get my graphic, and I'm going to get some painter's tape. I'm just going to put it up here just to have it ready to hold. Maybe an extra piece if I mess up. All right, so we're going to start to find the middle of the graphic, which it doesn't really matter. I need to make sure that the height that I was talking to you guys about earlier, I need to make sure that height is accurate. If you guys are just joining the live stream, the height that I'm talking about is how high, up or down do I want this graphic to sit. See, extra piece of tape. Never know where you're going to need it. All right, this is what it looks like. See? Pretty cool, right? But now what we need to do is I need to put a piece of tape right here, equidistance from here, and that's going to tell me where my knife tape line is going to go, because if you guys saw at the beginning of the stream, I talked about pre-planning where your graphic is going to go. So this tape, we're going to put this tape here somewhere, and that's going to tell us our height. So right here, and I did all this process with the graphic designer, so I said, hey, I want this logo 3 inches from the first beginning seam. So right there. And what came in real life is 2 7/8. So let's come down here. Let's do 2 7/8. And let's see, I'm going to use this. Probably got too big of a piece of tape. 2 7/8. Okay. See if I can rotate this. All right, so technically this should be my knife line. So I need to lower the graphic. If you guys did have a second hand, that would be somebody to help you, that would be good. So this let's get this lined up. Okay, so that's where I want it to be. So I got my corner over here is right. Let's hold it into place. So now I need to square up my right edge. And remember, this is the edge that I'm starting on. So this one is the one that needs to be perfect. All right, so I'm going to call that perfect. And what I'm calling perfect is I want my, I want about 1 millimeter of the edge back to me, if I can. I don't want actually going around the corner because that's how dirt tends to get trapped, and the graphic might peel off over time. I don't know how long the future customer of this van, they want this graphic on there forever, or they want to buy the van and say, the van's great, but can you take the graphic off? That's fine. That's completely fine with me. By the way, this van's for sale. The link is in the description below if you guys want to see some pictures. There are preliminary pictures of the build. There's a couple systems, the water system and the Webasto heater that has yet to be fully connected. So you guys will be seeing that later this week. But everything else is in the van. You guys can check it out, odysseycustomvans.com, the link in the description below. There's also a way to get in touch with me. All right, and now we're a little too high. All right, we're going to roll this back right here. We need to be able to manipulate this a little bit easier. A little bit lower. All right, that's perfect. So stay there, don't move. Okay, so the bottom is perfect. We got our little 1 millimeter there. So that's good. Now we just need to dial in this angle here. Okay, so I got my finger down here, finger up here. So that's exactly where it needs to be. So I wanted it to be halfway. It just looks like the way that this got printed for that line here to be accurate. So we just got to watch this top section because it's and so I'm focusing on the center to get make sure everything's square back here. Okay. Yes, Nigel, I'm a big fan of the metric system. So I was an engineer in a past life, and everything I made, sizing up stuff for motors, couplings, anything that was imperial, I'd changed to metric. So. If I told them how to do this in metric, I might not get it. All right, that is where I want it to be. That's where I want it to be. That's where I want it to be. That's the line. So we've got. All right, so we've got equidistance here and here for the logo. I'm going to step back. All right, I feel like that's pretty good. And so what I think the way I'm going to approach this one is, first of all, I'm going to wipe all this dust off because it'll start getting everywhere. Okay. I always keep a nice clean work area. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off the graphic from this top side, and then I'm going to peel it under, and then have it peeled down from the underside. I need to lock in this side first. That may not be the professional way to do it, but for me, my most important side is this side. This locks in my height and locks in my starting point. So it would be easier if I had something where, I was just going to lay this on here, and then I can just cut. But as you guys can see, I got them to cut this out on purpose this size. See, my hands are pretty clean and they're pretty dry. I would use gloves. I just don't like the feel. I can't feel what I'm working with. All right, here. Ah, I see. Okay. I know you guys can't see this, but this material, it's much thinner than I thought, number one. And it has this cool, like really tiny octagon thing on the back. I think that's what they mean by air release. It's, I don't know, it looks pretty cool. So let's change our tape. Let's hold this position. Let's put our tape right here. So it'll work a little bit easier. Okay, pretty confident that I'm locked in where I want to be, so I think I can pull the pull the whole paper around the other side. I don't see any advice coming through the chat, so I must be doing pretty good, or people are still at work. And heads up, I did already consider rolling this out. And then putting it back on, but I don't have an idea of how I would lock in this this spot right here that I'm about to lock in. So I'm peeling this off, and then I'm folding this under that. So hopefully that holds it in. Then now I can take this over here. Let's try this. Yeah, the problem I was having was this the graphic. I can't lay it down flat. So, it's pretty easy to work with. It's not super tacky, so I'm able to manipulate it pretty well. So let's just do this. 'Cause technically that should be flat. Okay. My main concern now is just making sure I don't get any bubbles in here, so or air pockets. So I'm just taking my time going up and down through here. All right, this little air release thing it's got works pretty good. So I don't know if that. So I've already got a piece of. Oh, come on. Tell you guys, I got like a piece of something there. Yeah, this graphic's pretty thin, so it is showing any of the little bits of dirt that I have. And to be honest, it's probably from when I cut the paper, so yeah, everything's going actually really well. Except for these little pieces of, I think it's paper that keeps getting little fuzz balls for me cutting. The problem is the static electricity won't let me take it off. All right, let's see if we can speed this process up a little bit. So we're gonna lift this up because we don't want air to be in there. Then we'll just let it fall down. Okay, so we did it. We got our starting point. So now we can roll it back. We're gonna roll back. We're trying to get like a piece in the center, or we can try to kind of fan out. We'll just see what happens next. Awesome, Nigel. Thanks for joining us. Check out the video tomorrow when this thing's all finished. All right, so the good news is I have a little bit more of a gap here than I do up here. And so what I'm gonna do is just be mindful of that. It's not gonna really change anything. But that does mean I'm kind of, my angle is going up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna see if I can roll this without creasing this down here. That part kind of gets to be a mess. This is just as much as I can have a lint-free cloth here. If you're a professional, you would want to use a tack cloth. I'm not saying this won't look like a professional, but a tack cloth would be a really good way to make sure none of this fuzz gets on here. All right, so I'm actually having to pull back the graphic a little bit because I actually can't access my paper. Being very gentle. If I overstretch it, I should be able to heat it back. Don't ask me why I did not do this in a straight line. I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay. So now let's kind of get back into this. We're going to go very carefully now because we've stretched our graphic. And so that's going to change the way that it works. So we've kind of messed up a little bit. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to work through it so that we don't have any problems. So we're just going to go nice and easy. Because it's possible you might mess up, and just know you can fix it. So. Okay. So this little air release technology this thing has is actually pretty phenomenal because I'm kind of messing up on these top areas where I've stretched it, and I'm able to push it in and evacuate all the air pretty seamlessly. I just realized that I have a whole kit of cool stuff over here that I should be using. I'm not sure why I'm not using it. So this is a felt pad. It's something the pros use, and it's just sitting over there. It's not getting any use. Don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm installing and doing a live stream at the same time. Yeah, for some reason in my head, I thought this was just going to roll on in 5 seconds. So. What's also challenging is this this bottom here where where I'm getting these air bubbles. It's challenging because I don't want this to lift up the knife tape. It's in a precarious area where I think it's going to be lifting up the knife tape. I'm not sure. We need to focus on this middle part, and then we'll go back up and fix the top part. Because the more that I can get down, the better this will be. Yeah, I gotta say this, whatever this little air release stuff is, it works really good. You can get a bubble and you can just push it right out without having to peel back the graphic. It's pretty cool. Oops. That part might not come out. Yeah, hopefully I can contact the graphic design company. Contact them tomorrow. Maybe I can put that in the description because this stuff is I'm not treating it really well, and it's actually performing pretty good. Yeah, I need to lift up on this bottom part to give it some relief. I think that's my problem. Oh man, we're at the window. We're at the window. Oh geez. There's no going back now. The graphic on the window is always, like the glass is super sticky. So it's really hard to change course if you are already on the glass. Just my opinion, just my opinion. I mean, if I could help it, I wouldn't want to actually touch the glass, but the problem is I need the glass to be, you know, happy or lined up with the rest of this whole thing. So this stuff is much thinner than I thought it was, which is good for the glass part because the glass part, wow, I got a bunch of bubbles here. I don't know how I did that. All right, guys, it's actually coming back into view of the camera, so I know it's been a little painful to watch for a couple seconds. And I am doing a time lapse. So if you guys come back, I'm doing a time lapse. So it's not affecting anything, but I am, where this glass is, I'm bubbling up pretty good. I'm not sure why. Not worried about it because I'm not going to use that part, but I'm not pushing this down yet because I don't want to I can lift it off when I get this whole entire thing finished. All right. Yeah, something's happening down here. If you guys are still watching, you have any questions, let me know. That might be a good thing to talk about while I'm doing this because I can't think of anything to talk about other than stuff that I've done to the van. Well, oh, dang it. I can fix that later. Somehow this window, it's going to be a problem when I get down the back end. Yeah, right here in the middle, it's doing some bunching up. I'm going to cut and pull that, but I feel like it's messing up my rest of my graphic here. I don't know why. I'm not sure why it's doing that. That's going to be a problem. Because as soon as I get off the glass, I need this to be the same. I'm trying to figure out what the heck went wrong over here. This is good. Somehow this is not. This needs to get pulled up. I can fix all this. I just need to get the graphic back on track. Okay. So predicament like I am, usually means getting a little aggressive with the vinyl. Okay, back on track. We're going to cut this middle out, so it's actually probably good, you know, for this live stream, it'll be good to show you guys how to fix that. You can fix stuff you don't push down really hard. You can go back. The problem is if you let this continue, when you get to where you come off of the window, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to have a straight area to work with. So, okay, I'll be bold here. I'm going to actually take the rest of the graphic off. Hopefully it doesn't fold over on itself. There we go. It's a breath of fresh air. Okay. Okay, so this is the fun part right here. We're going to get ready to come off of the window. So we need to make sure that when we land, that this is lands in a good way. So we're going to stay in the center so we can work our way out. Again, I'm not a pro. I just feel that that's the way we should do it. Of course, I guess I'm a pro if I'm at this level doing this for you guys. We'll come back to this top section. Let's clean up this bottom before it gets too out of our way here. This is kind of some finishing work, but I just want to do it now. So I think it's always good to go back and get practice at what you actually did pretty good before you do something more challenging like fix that top section. All right, let's keep going. Doing good here. If there's any professionals watching, later on, I need to come back to these corners. It'd be nice to just put a quick chat in there. If I use the heat gun, is that a good way to tighten in these corners from the ripples, or do you just take your time kind of pushing them out? My gut says I can hit it with the heat gun briefly and it'll pull that tight. So. Okay, going, looking good. Some little weird stuff happening over here in the vinyl. It's a property of the vinyl. It's not the van. Oh well. I think they layered it with some protective coat, so maybe that's what that little ripple is there. All right, let's keep going. We're gonna go to this top part, get it all cleaned up. I'm going to use the heat gun to shrink this because I know it's not going to lay down well unless I do that. I haven't done this before, so I just have an idea. It's okay, YouTubers watch YouTube. Working a little bit. Stuff's pretty thin, so I don't want to. Haven't worked with it before, so I don't want to get too crazy with it. Yeah, this part right here is what I'm worried about. The reason I can anticipate it is I hit the same thing with upholstery, believe it or not. know if you guys can see what's happening right here, but if you don't pull the graphic all the way, that's what I was saying, you gotta land here correctly. If you don't pull this out, then there's a spot where you can potentially get what I think I have right here that I'm trying to solve, which is, it's like a little bubble because there's too much material. And I don't think, from my experience, I'm not sure if I can actually shrink it enough to pull it out. So I come and we're going to actually pull it back. It's possible I shouldn't have cut that. We're going to try this to fix it. Yeah, so unfortunately this problem is not an easy quick fix. So if you guys are still watching, I appreciate it. In a perfect world, we would be go ahead and cutting our window out, tucking all this stuff in here, but again, I haven't used this film before, so I don't know. I don't know how it acts. If you missed the point I made earlier, what I've done is I've let too much material bulk up here. It's such a little bit, but it's enough to where, like, if you ignore this and it gets to here, it's stuff that you can't fix because it's too much material. That material needs to be pulled out away. So what I'm trying to do here is pull some this way to see if I can slowly get this cleaned up. I fixed a problem like this with upholstery, but I haven't done it with vinyl. So it kind of works the same way, a little bit. That bubble's just going to follow us everywhere. I could put a big thumbnail, a good thumbnail on here now and say I messed up for clicks, right? We're not taking the whole thing off. I have an idea how to fix it. The cause is there's too much material, so I've got to take this off. I got to pull that additional material back out. But at the same time, I'm stretching the graphic. So, because I thought I was done. This part. Yeah, it's possible we may redo this because I think this extra material here is what's causing this whole problem. I'm not sure how to solve it. I didn't think this awning window would be such a big deal, but apparently it is causing a lot of issues here. So we've moved our problem down to the left-hand side. I'm just wondering if we can fix it by getting this thing really taut to pull out these problems over here. All right, let's cut this around this window. Let's see if there's any way we can fix this over here. I'm not sure if we can. We actually might have to do it again, but everything's a learning process, right? All right, where's my cutter at? 3/4 of it is perfect right now. All right, guys, I think we can save it. I'm pretty sure we can. I think the problem is on the other side, I need to make sure I cut out this relief for the window because it's kind of like offset. So it's like pulling material away. If you guys are a pro vinyl graphic installer, let me know if you think that's where I messed up, where I got this extra material that I can't, not say can't because I'm actually fixing it right now, but that was really hard for me to get even back up. I'm thinking that's where I think that's where I messed up. Okay, I think we're gonna save this. So continue with the video. We're back. How many people are on live stream? 0? Who's watching right now? We got 4 people watching. All right, guys, keep watching because we just overcame currently, at the current moment, an issue where we may have had to get another piece of vinyl. We didn't damage it. It's when I was coming over here, there's so much extra material that it lifts up. So if you come over here and you kind of overcompensate, you'll mess yourself up pretty bad. And so that's what I did. And now I'm trying to go back here and get these places that I had perfect down here back to perfection. I definitely got to find the name of this material because it's probably the most forgiving stuff that I've worked with. Probably should have had gloves on this backside, but it's just a vinyl graphic. It's not the end of the world. If it messes up, we can just get another one some other time. But for right now, I think we have saved this. But yeah, for people that are joining, this is we're installing vinyl graphic on a camper van, and we're going to go through the steps at the beginning of this video on how you need to get the artwork done, stuff like that. You know, the pre-details, the size of your graphic that you're using, what the end size is going to look like when you get done with your graphic. That's what we've been talking about. And then we went from there into what I'm doing right now, which is fixing, not taking this seriously in the middle because I thought it would just be no big deal. I'm going to cut it out anyway. But just like upholstery, when I did some videos, it's really hard to, you got to start and end where you want the same. You can't fix it at the end because you'll either have too much material pulled off to the side or too much up here. It's going to be nice and even. Plus, one thing I'm learning from this is this van is curved. This window is bumped out. So I thought it was going to be no big deal, but apparently it's a little bit more challenging. So, you know, I know this channel is very DIY friendly. This one, you're really going to have to take your time and, you know, not get frustrated when you make a mistake because it looks right now, it looks like I fixed a mistake. When we tie in around the window, we'll see, how that comes out. Trying to do a good job here. This is in 4K, so I know you guys will be able to see all the details. I think we saved it. I think we are good to go. So now I'm going to start coming down on the window we can proceed to actually make this video get completed. For a second, I thought we're gonna have to stop and I'm gonna have to edit and fix all this, but no, we're going to keep on going. All right. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm about to do. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit. Let's see if you guys can see that. I'm going to change this light so we can get a good angle on the see if I can turn this one off and we get a good nice shadow. That works either way. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm not sure if you can. Get this camera into place. Okay, this bunk window up here is what we're working on right now. I need to find my razor blade, my new cool razor blade, a little low profile one. Because I don't see it. Anyway, let's get on this. The whole point is I want to get this done. I want to use the razor tape because it's really cool. I want to actually use it and show you guys how to use it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm getting this the vinyl pulled up so that we can start to tuck in with our little dental tool things around the actual the window itself. And so this is taking a little bit of stretching of the material. So I'm pulling the vinyl off the window frame to make this work. I'll probably have to pull it off again because this is only going to get me so far. And then I'll have to use that tool to actually get it in deeper. I don't know if I'll have to cut like a relief on it. Not sure. Again, I said I'm not a pro at this install. I got a little tips here, so if this actually works out, then these will be great video. But if you guys are a pro installer, it'd be cool to hop in the comments and let me know any tips and tricks I can do to make this a little bit better of an install when I go do the other side of the van, and then I also do the hood. I'm happy with what I've done so far. It's the, I mean, you guys have seen how long this live stream is. This is it's taking a long time to do this. The vinyl company that I got this from, they're so busy that they can't actually send anybody out here to install it, so that's why I'm installing it. I love doing this stuff, so it's, what better way to do it than to do it? Okay, now that we've got this in here to where it's relieved from all of the pressure that it had going over, it's now kind of under. Okay, so now when we go to put it underneath here before we cut it, I think it'll be good. All right, I gotta find, let me look for that, that razor blade. There it is. Okay. So we've got a very thin razor blade we're going to use to actually cut this out. That's the plan. I'm going to use this red one because it's more visible for you guys to see. Camera's a little too close, but I want to make sure you guys see what I'm doing. All right, let's start up here. Actually, okay, I'm gonna take a little risk on this bottom side because I gotta find a way to cut it and then have it stuffed up in there, because I think if I stuff it up in there, I'm not gonna be able to cut it the way I want to. Well, I don't know. This method seems to be working okay. All right, we're gonna go for it. Start cutting this because we gotta figure out how we want to cut this. Try that. Yeah, that works perfect. All right, so we're going to cut this halfway on this bottom part, and then we'll stuff the other half up under the lip. And so this frame is aluminum, so we don't really have to worry about anything there. Just need to make sure that we get the graphic underneath here. This will be very tedious, but I think it's going to look great when we get done. Again, if you can take the window out, I would say that would be your best bet, if you can do that. Okay, I want it a little bit thicker on this side. Let's see if that makes the difference. Nope. Go thicker around the corners. That's where this C.R. Laurence window doesn't smush up against the van the closest, so that is where this graphic is kind of needs more of itself. Yeah, if you just take your time and gauge around the side, it can look really good. I'm doing it, and it looks good. All right, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I used this right here as a guide for the razor, for the spacing, and then I just took it all the way under. I think and that gave me a perfect cut. What I mean by perfect cut is it's a cut where I get enough material underneath here so that the paint doesn't show. Just checking on the time lapse. I was trying not to have this video this long, but no reason stopping the live stream for a little hookup. Nova. Hey, come here. Remember, we want to go wide on the curve here because we need all of that material. And then just taper in to the underside. All right, it's looking good. It is looking excellent. Yep, it's gonna be a good install. It's gonna be good. Let me know if you guys have any questions. The chat is pretty quiet tonight. All right, this is the last bit here before we do the razor tape, so this is getting close to the reveal. Okay, that's it for this part around the window, which I thought was going to be terribly difficult, but actually not too bad. All right, now we get to the fun part, the razor tape. Hopefully this will be the end of this thing. We can actually go and end the video. It's taken forever. Yeah, I did not think this would take this long. But I know what to look out for the other side. And you guys know what mistake to not make that I did. So that was a win for the video. Now I just need to make sure that these corners are down like they should be. Yeah, especially in these corners where I can't see the razor tape. That's gonna be a problem. Let's start on the easy part and let's see where we get. I'm going to come over here. Give this a snap. But we need to make sure that It's cutting through the middle. There we go, okay. So we are cutting through the middle. If I had a GoPro in my head, I would transfer to that, but I don't. Okay, so this is hopefully where this will begin. All right, it's working pretty well. Seems like going at a quicker pace is better. And like not stopping. Seems that stopping may be a problem. See, I feel that there's like tension. Whenever I start, I'm just making sure my thumb is over it. Yeah, these corners, oh man. That one did pretty good. All right, let's do a reveal for this at least. And then let's take the, let me get the names of this stuff right. Throw it away. The green tape. So this green tape just comes out from underneath like that. This is what we want to make sure we get rid of so that we can wipe down the bottom section. So close. We are so close. If you guys have any questions, as soon as I get this wrapped around the other side, I'm going to end the live stream. So make sure you guys ask away if you have any questions. And I'm taking this off on the sides on purpose because it's hiding the part of the tape that I need to cut, if you're wondering why I'm doing that. This part over here is kind of challenging. Yeah, I gotta be honest, it does not like stopping. So if you can keep going and not have a pause, I'm having a pause because my vinyl's not in the spot that I want it to be. Yeah, cut the string out of your way so you don't accidentally pull it. That's bad. All right, this is the last bit. We are done. Just a little bit of cleanup. Take a picture. I have no idea how long this has been. All right, let's take the vinyl off. Be very careful. We don't want it to catch and rip for all of our hard work. Okay. Up. There we go. Reveal time. Taking our time. There's two little extremely tiny nicks in that corner, but I think it'll be all right. Oh my gosh, that took a minute. All right, let's go ahead and get these down before we forget that they're not down. We go to clean it, do something bad. Yeah, what's cool about the doing it the way I did is, I mean, I have to say, it is pretty perfect as far as the line goes, but if you did slightly mess up, I can see where you could save it by having these little contour areas. All right, I'm just doing a little once over, nice and easy, before I get my fingerprints off of it. We're doing this because we moved it, if you remember. I just want to make sure we don't have any bubbles that we forget. And I need to take the van outside and then, I don't know, air gets in it or something. Yeah, I thought I was going to have to redo this, but it is professionally done now. This is definitely looking like a pro job. Okay, wow. That took way longer than I thought. You guys have made it this far in the video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are subscribed to the channel to check out any videos like this that may be helpful for you. We'll always answer the comments and try to help you guys learn about vans. I thought the vinyl graphic thing would be really cool to do because I know you see the vans out there with these graphics, and to actually see if it's something you might want to do to your van, I thought would be pretty cool. I'm gonna back up. Move the time lapse here. Let's see, let's turn the camera. Go. Let's get some better lighting in here. All right, check it out, guys. What do you think? Does that look cool? I think it looks awesome. So that's what I was going for, and it happened. So I'm very happy. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about this, if you're a professional and you'd like to kind of pick apart this in the comments, go for it. I think there's a couple places when I first started and went over this side that I got a little lazy on pushing this down and some material built up, but I was able to cut this out, kind of pull it in and pull it this way, and I saved it. So, yeah. But that is how you do it. One thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to do the hood and the same thing. The hood will not have the logo, but it will be pretty much the same thing. Let's see what else here. What else tonight? If you guys haven't already, make sure to check out vanbuilderhq.com. I'm going to pull this up here in just a second. So check out vanbuilderhq.com. I'm sure I will turn this into a blog post so that we can go through some graphics and stuff like that, some of the details I talked about in this video, so that you guys will have a place to click on, like this thing from Amazon, that whole kit that had all my razors and stuff like that. We'll add that to this sheet, which is called the DIY Van Build Cheat Sheet. And what this is essentially a big Excel sheet of all my products that I've ever bought from Amazon: electrical, fasteners, hardware, kitchen, roofing, security, solar, and most importantly, tools. And you can look to see what I've bought over the past 3 years that I use in the shop. If you're curious about what you would need for your own van build, stuff that I use all the time. And the nice part about this list is it is completely free. It's 100% free. All you gotta do is you click on the link, you're gonna put your name and email address in there. It's gonna come straight to your inbox, and it'll be yours to go through. And it's always growing, so it's a list that is continually growing. There's some stuff that I need to update onto it, but yeah, as you can see, this took a while, so I think it's take a while to get on there, but we've got plans for putting more stuff on there all the time. So use it to get started. Check out the live streams to see what products that I recommend. anything from solar products. We just recently did one on full extension drawer slides that you can check out on the channel. And yeah, so this is a DIY van build cheat sheet. So I hope you guys check that out. And then last but not least, I want you to hop on over to Odyssey Custom Vans whenever you guys are ready to do a professional van build. So the van behind me is in this photo. You can kind of see Nova right there, chilling out. We took a little nice photo out there in the woods, got the awning out. And this van is currently for sale. So you can click on this video on the website or on the DIY or the Van Builders HQ YouTube channel. This is Adventure Van Expo in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I did a quick walkthrough since we had the van there. Again, the plumbing system is being put in this weekend. We'll be connecting the Webasto as well as putting in the breaker for the 120 volt circuit. So check out this video. It's a tour of the van at its current state. And then down here you can look at all the fun stuff that's inside this van. Van's fully loaded. It's the EcoBoost V6, so the big engine, high roof. It's a 350 as well, with the all-wheel drive drivetrain. So for your overlanders, adventure vaners, this is the van you're looking for. It actually has a limited slip differential in the back, so I'm not going to go into detail on that. I just like nerding out about those details. So the van base is excellent. As far as the power system, we got 600 amp hours in there. We've also got a Dometic RTX 2000 AC unit. Of course, we've got the Max fan, and then we've got the Rivati stainless steel sink. That's just some stuff to name off the top of my head. If you guys want to schedule a consultation with me to go over details of the van, in the meantime, you can look at these photos, some detailed photos of what we have in there, Isotherm Cruise 130. There will be more photos. This is just to kind of keep you guys happy until I can actually finish the main video tour of this van in the meantime. But my contact for my van business is sales@odysseycustomvans.com. That number goes to me direct. And if it's more convenient for you, it's actually easier to go here where it says click here to schedule a call. It's going to give you access to my calendar. You can go through here, select a time, like for example, let's see, tomorrow. So the whole day, boom, got all those times that you can select. That'll go right to my calendar, and I'll see that you guys have an appointment, and we'll hop on a call. So that's if you're interested in a van build or the current van behind me, and you're interested in purchasing it. But that's going to do it for the live stream tonight. Guys, if you made it through that whole entire install, props to you, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel to check out the new videos we're going to have this week. I'm getting to the plumbing system. Like this video, share it to somebody who is working on their personal van and may need some help with some DIY stuff. We got a ton of stuff on the YouTube channel. And always, you can ask a question in the comments below. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream.